Thank you again, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I won't repeat where I'm from. I'm Chris Carlizzi, NFIB. But I did want to say I apologize for not submitting written testimony. I had 4 very long pages prepared for the $15 minimum wage. So good news is my remarks will be far briefer, and we saved a couple trees worth of paper today. However, NFIB still remains opposed to this bill, raising the minimum wage to $11.50 per hour. It's important to note that small businesses are often impacted hardest when the minimum wage increases. They can't spread that cost out through multiple stores, through multiple lower cost states. It's often those one-shop small businesses that find it the hardest to absorb those labor cost increases. In fact, most small businesses are already facing things like paid sick leave, higher energy prices, rising healthcare costs, and as Lynette just brought up, things like unemployment insurance and workers' compensation insurance are tied to minimum wage increasing. So payroll goes up across the board. So for a small business, labor costs do not happen within a vacuum, and it becomes easy for that business owner to become overwhelmed when expenses grow. The groups most impacted by wage increases are younger and unskilled workers. I won't go over all the reports that I usually cite, but those are the people that are impacted most when a wage hike happens. Those are the people that are crowded out of the job market. And I'd also add that Rhode Island is one of the few states that does not have a teen training wage. 39 other states have one. It would be something that would help encourage small businesses to hire younger workers, even if it's just for 3 months for a finite period of time at 80% of the minimum wage. It helps teach those young workers invaluable work skills that they carry throughout their entire lives. There's another issue regarding time and a half pay for certain businesses that have hourly workers on Sundays and holidays. Rhode Island will be the only state left, once Massachusetts phases it out in 2023, that will have a time and a half pay law. And under the current proposal here, that would mean a $17.25 minimum wage, which would put Rhode Island at a competitive disadvantage with both Massachusetts and Connecticut on Sundays and holidays. This would be one of the, as people before me had said, one of the larger minimum wage hikes. They've been smaller in the past, 40, 50 cents. And also the timing of it, as noted before. One of the things I did want to bring up, that I was looking at the DLT jobs numbers, and one sector that did lose ground from December of 2018 to December of 2019 was the retail sector. Brick and mortar retail industry often hire minimum wage positions. I'm not saying that a minimum wage increase or higher labor costs is the only things that would cause job loss in that sector, but that is one sector that's finding it very difficult to compete online. So the higher labor costs are for those types of small businesses, the harder it is for them to compete against larger businesses. So some of the things that could happen with minimum wage increases, higher prices for products, but once again, people are only willing to pay so much for pizza or a hamburger before they start buying less. A lot of areas that have raised the minimum wage are seeing fewer hours available. So while people are making more per hour, their paychecks are smaller because there are fewer hours available to work. And of course, the most drastic scenario is reducing staff and moving to kiosks or tablets. So we will say that the minimum wage increase will have a serious impact on the state's small businesses. And I certainly entertain any questions.